Sunday saw a Dean Court deadlock as Eddie Howe and Newcastle United masterminded keeping Bournemouth at bay. It really wasn't that pretty at times, but with a point in the bag against the Mags, Cherries remain top four after 5 games. And look, that's pretty good considering we've played 3 of the Champions League sides. Tom?
Yes.
How you doing?
Yeah, all right. I think that's a nicer way to start it because it was a drab game.
Yeah.
So I think to kind of hear them stats remembers where we are. Yeah. And that, you know, I was saying to you off camera that kind of we have such explosive football. It's so good to watch. And then occasionally one dips in, it's going to. And this was one of them. And but last season we lose that, in my opinion. We lose that last season. So I think it's still a really good point. As you say, the fixtures were tough. Really tough start of the season, mate. So it's good. And not only is it, you know, 3 Champions League teams we've played and, you know, we're top 4. We've also kept 3 clean sheets after losing our whole back 5. Yeah. You know, because Smith's injured as well. So to have done that, I think if we want to look at the positives, we go, it's another point on the board against a really good side and it's another clean sheet to a new defensive unit. So let's try and keep it upbeat after, it was an absolute snooze fest.
It was drab. I felt for the neutral that had been watching on TV because it wouldn't have been that pretty. I felt for myself when trying to put together 1, the vlog, 2 fan cams, knowing that no one's going to want to tune in. Thankfully, it's still got relatively okay numbers
difficult
for
one,
back of the net. And on this show, there's not going to be too much in the way of deep conversation about the technicalities of the game because it was one that represented the lowest XG this season in the Premier League. So like we said in the first paragraph, we'll try to concentrate on the positives, including another brilliant defensive display. But it wasn't just a good one from us, it was a good one from them as well. So disciplined, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were kind of talking in the preview a little bit about how Eddie's changed a little bit, weren't we?
Yeah, a bit more pragmatic.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot of respect to us coming here and playing the back 5, definitely. A lot of respect to us, which you know, is a good thing. But what it meant was they were bloody hard to break down. I thought that back 3, it was Botman, Byrne and Howe, wasn't it, that started. Lascelles come on later. And yeah, I looked at them and I said to you again, I said, if they, in like a Champions League knockouts and stuff, if they can do that like in the away leg, say, latter stages, they're going to be hard to break down because I felt forever up there and then you're crossing balls and they're just going to win everything. But yeah, as you said as well, mate, they would be saying the same about us. We were very, very solid. I thought our centre-halves were absolutely brilliant and Adam shielding them as well. So if you want to swing a positive on it, I think both teams will go, we look good at the back. And they'll say Newcastle haven't scored or conceded a goal on the road. They drew every game 0-0.
Wow.
Which is mad. 3 games in a row away from home, drew them all 0-0, which is not Eddie Howe at all. So very surprising, but it does point to the fact that they're getting a lot more solid.
Hard-working weekend for all the players on the pitch. Hard work for Andoni, but he clawed a point, as did Eddie. Hard work also for Steve Fletcher, who's been doing loads abroad, because it's the Premier League Fan Fest in Kansas City. I know that David Cordell, who's part of our Telegram, and he's a financial supporter of the channel, and he's got a load of photos that we're displaying for people on the second look. But Fletch, they're getting their money's worth out of Fletch. That's all I'd say. If you look at the AFCB and PL Instagram feed, Fletcher's AFCB's one. He's everywhere.
He is absolutely everywhere. It's unbelievable. But I mean, at times when Voltamade was up front, I thought it was Fletch back. But I actually think Fletch would do a better job, to be honest. But yeah, he's everywhere. But there's some really nice photos out there. Shame they didn't get to celebrate or even see a bloody goal. But yeah, Fletch, they're getting their best out of Fletch. I'm sure he's telling loads of stories and they're loving it.
He must be, absolutely. Yeah, top man. So look, it was a draw for AFC Bournemouth. It wasn't for the women.
Sure.
2-0 victory at the Ringwood Community Hub. This time over Cheltenham Town. I think 2 second-half goals. Do you know who scored them this week? And curveball.
Yeah.
It's not the usual couple.
I know. I did see that McGuinness scored.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one.
But you are so on Guinness brand this weekend. It's unbelievable.
That's what, of course he scored. Do you know what I mean? It's been Guinness weekend. Yeah, McGuinness. Who was the other one?
Georgie Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, okay. Bournemouth and Newcastle both had a Wilson as well.
Of course.
The same one. So yeah, nice of that. But no, another win, mate. It's
mate, flying high. I think them and Watford top of the league or on 13.
Happening again, is it? It's happening again. Oh, I love it.
So look, it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes because if they manage to do it this season, oh my God, that would be huge. And what a first season it would be in full charge for Helen Blizzard. Let's take a look at the Premier League table now as well. And look, it's not looking bad for us either. Look at that. Now, unfortunately, due to Arsenal's last minute Martinelli goal, that put them ahead of us on goals difference. We would have been third.
I know. I did feel smug though. I don't know if I said it to you before the game. I was saying there was obviously 3 games on the Sunday, and I said these 3 fixtures, they're all going to be draws.
What was the other one?
Sunderland Villa 1-1.
Oh, that was being played during hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying to everyone, I reckon they're all going to be draws today. It just feels like a real. So I was right in the end. But yeah, like you say, that Martinelli goal was a bit of a killer for us. But listen, apparently, Arsenal are obviously in the title race, so we must be because we're joint second. We are joint second. So it's not bad. It's mad, and I went back to the pub after, and everyone's a bit like, oh, that was a bit. We're bloody 4th.
I know.
It's mental, but that's good. That's a good thing. I don't mind that.
Yeah,
that shows how the expectations, but that's because of what we've been seeing, mate.
Yeah, and also I think it's just twinned with the fact that usually we're excited by what we see on the pitch, and this time it was just a bit of a dour affair.
Yeah, it wasn't a 3-3. I know what you mean.
It was like a game of chess where they almost out-tacticked each other, and the creativity, the flair, the sort of on-pitch expressiveness that you usually see. Didn't really see that this time, but I think that's compliment to them. That's them complimenting us as well.
I'm convinced after, say, about an hour, when, both teams weren't really doing anything, if you had stopped the game and said to both managers, do you want to stop now? Keep them fresh. Let's lose the last half hour. Just keep it as a point each. I reckon they'd shake hands on it.
Maybe.
And it felt like that, didn't it?
Maybe they did.
Maybe
they did. Remember, if you want to get all of the updates on your phone during a game, get all the stats, all the facts that we use on this second look, there's only one app to get. What is it, Tom?
It's SofaScore, mate. And I'm not going to lie, I've already looked.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have a little look at the weekend's one. I did already check out the stats.
Oh, my God. So when I ask you, Tom, who's your player, you know.
I could have been, acted clever, though, and not told you that. But yeah, I went back to the pub after, and we were, obviously, because the game, nothing happened, we were going, oh, it's really hard to pick, a man of the match, because they didn't pick one in the stadium.
Oh, did they not?
No. So we were just talking about stats and stuff, and we were having a look, so we'll come on to it, I'm sure. But yeah, it's the best one for stats, mate. You get to see all sorts. And it was nice to go on there and see that Newcastle had 0.00 XG in the second half.
Live scores, heat maps,
everything.
Shot action goal action animations, the whole lot. So look, if you want to download it, there's a QR code on screen. There's a link in the description. You can also go to afcbpodcast.com/SofaScore. Every download helps the channel, so we'd truly appreciate it if you go and grab it. Maybe now? Yeah, go on, do it now.
Well,
team lineups then.
Yes.
We were in the pub and we were just looking what Newcastle were doing. It was more interest what they were doing just because they'd played on the Thursday, and more changes than we expected.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a bit more credit for this actually, because I always do the team news, and I remember saying to you, I think they'll do this, do that, and you were saying, "Are you sure they're not going to? I think they might rotate more." You were saying, "I wonder." I don't know why. I just felt that they might try and start strong and then bring them off.
Yeah,
and
true.
I certainly didn't expect the midfield to not have Bruno or Joe Linton.
No, that's right.
I saw afterwards that Eddie said that Joe Linton has had a few little knocks and he didn't want to bring him on. He was there for emergencies kind of thing. And Eddie does what Eddie does, and he said after the game that I'm going to have to use this squad this season. I've got to show trust in them. And I actually thought they were okay in midfield. I still think Willett gives you legs, and Miley looks like a good player. And Tonali, by the way, every time I see him, he's flawless. He is a bloody good player. But yeah, and obviously they switched to the 5 as we mentioned, Liverpool and Howe. I was kind of quite pleased not to see Trippier because of their height and his balls. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? His balls in the box, and obviously his balls in the box. Yeah, and Volta and obviously Jake. I was quite pleased not to see Elanga because he's done well against us in the past. But yeah, for us, the only one I got wrong was I thought they might stick with Milo, but he brought Diakite back in.
In actual fact, when you texted me the teams the first time...
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
You included Diakite, and then I said, oh, but what about the height of holes? And you changed it on my...
Yeah, that's true, actually. So I would have got 11
really,
11.
If we're being honest here...
Because I'm not being funny.
Look, I'll put the text at Tom's on screen just to prove it. Right?
Well done. But I literally... You've got to give me some kudos here that Jimenez hasn't started a game this season, and I've just randomly called the game he started. Had a feeling that he'd start this one, and pleased for him as well to get started to see more of him. But yeah, once I saw the teams, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I would take a draw now, just because but you also think they can change it, so it is a difficult one. But yeah, I was happy with ours anyway, mate.
I tell you what, mate, I'm a big fan of AI.
Go on.
Well, Andoni, of course, but also AI. So Twitter or X. Grok, the AI tool that it's got. I asked it to calculate the total height of the Newcastle team that faced Bournemouth on 21st of February. And it came back with the answer almost straight away. I had about 5 minutes to think about it. I mean, too long.
Yeah, a little
way
bit.
Too long.
So, yeah.
And the total height was 2,080 centimetres versus Bournemouth's 1,988 centimetres. So the difference was that Newcastle's lineup was taller by 92 centimetres overall, something that Carol on fan cabs, that was the first thing she said. She was like, what do they grow them in up on Tyneside? And yeah, I mean, that backline especially, my God, the height on that.
Yeah, the physical, I mean, you could even you go from Nick Pope all the way to Voltamate, don't you? In every area, which again is showing the adaptation of Eddie Howe, because we used to be a little side, didn't we, really? But yeah, they are massive. And I don't want to talk about, as you can understand, I don't want to talk about height too much in this video. That's all right. Thank you.
But did the lineup remind you of almost like the Eddie days when we would be welcoming Manchester City at home?
I know what you mean.
Similar, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Very similar.
It was. He changed bits, and like I said, that's a massive compliment to us, mate.
I mean, obviously they're a quality side that have got more quality in their side than we had then.
Yeah.
But almost trying to deploy the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I saw someone as well that looked since Andoni's come, and then a few times that we've struggled to break teams down and maybe got caught more, like last season and the season prior. And a lot of the time we've struggled against back fives. Because it's just changed the way we've had to approach it a little bit. So, Eddie's probably seen all that, and I'm not being funny, but not having a dig here, but he struggled against Bournemouth. Yeah. Eddie Howe struggled against Bournemouth, and the last time he played Andoni, he got absolutely battered. Yeah. So if you think about it in that context, you go, he's got to change something at some point against Bournemouth, because he's not getting and again, it didn't work for them, but in terms of going forward, but that's the hardest they've been to break down. And yeah, you look at our front players, probably the quietest Semenyo's been, Brooks has been, and everyone else has been all season.
What is it with these weird kickoffs now? Because the Premier League, I think, put it on Instagram. Like every club's doing these weird kickoffs where they're always playing for territory, almost like rugby in a way.
Yeah, I remember what it was.
Well, we did it. I mean, they did it in the second half by kicking out the play. We just did a massive up and under.
Yeah, it was Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah, what's that all about?
It does feel rugby's bang on, because it feels like they're just trying to. If you just boot it in the corner and they get a throw in there, you've got the territory up there.
Yeah,
it's
strange.
It is strange. I want to bring back. Do you remember the Warren Feeney kickoff where we would just pass it to Warren Feeney and he would dribble and try and beat as many as he could? Because sometimes it's just that element of surprise, and they'll just bring him down and you get a free kick.
But wasn't there a story that Matt Latiz once put a bet on himself?
Oh, yes.
And how quick the ball would go out of play, and he kicked it, but it just missed, so he was chasing it.
Sure. Yeah, because it was one of them bets where it was you make a profit, but it goes less and less the longer the time goes, and he was just running around trying to get the ball out of play. What a dickhead.
What a dickhead he is. Right, so let's talk about...
Or did he? Matt Letizia would say. What's that mean?
Chances. They're at a premium in this game. There were a few... there was a nice run by Brooks, quite aggressive, and then he just back-heeled it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he knew that there was someone there. He must have got the call, because Tyler Adams came in and made Nick Pope do some work, so that was quite nice. We had a lot of possession early doors. I think the graphic on screen after 10 minutes was us having 83% possession. We were trying our best. We were trying lots of different routes through to goal. Senesi with the long passes as well, obviously being cut out a lot, but I think the focus was on trying to win the second ball quite often. But Evan Nilsson was so isolated, we weren't winning it quite often. But it was a fairly energetic start, and probably if you're going to look at all parts of the game, that first 20 minutes was quite a good moment for us.
Yeah, I'd say the first 20 minutes was where, if we had scored the goal, that would have been it, because that was our period, wasn't it? And we've been saying a few times, we've been getting the goal as well. We've started games so well this season. We obviously got the early goal against Wolves, Brighton wasn't that far away, and Tottenham. So it looked like same again. And they probably knew that. And probably allowed us to have the ball. Again, it's probably something that Eddie's looked at. We spoke about it enough that we'd probably rather not have that much possession. So I think they probably thought, right, let's sit back, let's see out that opening 20 minutes and then grow into it, which I felt they did.
Yeah.
And by the end of the half, I was kind of happy for it to be half time.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there was two halves in one half. Like we were the better team in the first half of the first half, and then they come into it a little bit more.
They had that chance with Murphy that was very similar to the Brighton chance previous week at an angle where Petrovic managed to cut the shot. That was a really nice bit of interplay between Tonali and Wolfamada. How's it, Wolfamada or...
I was going, Wolfamada, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Rudy Voller. Doesn't he look like Rudy Voller?
Or that bloke from the Darwin D's that I said on the vlog.
Still,
I'll show you a
he doesn't look like him that much. Or a German pool star, maybe.
Yeah, all that, I don't watch any of that, so I wouldn't know.
No, I mean, if someone said that to me.
Okay. We did score a goal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so weird, right? Because you look at it from one angle and he looks way offside, and then you look at it, it comes around parallel. So it wasn't actually...
It was close.
was like a shin or something,
Yeah.
or a bit of boot.
Yeah, it was close, mate. I think it was weird though, because in the moment, obviously we're quite way back, 'cause you're in the north as well, and it was at the other end. In the moment, I thought I didn't see offside at all. But then when it was given, the flag was up, no one seemed to be bothered.
No.
I wonder if nowadays people think, well, if it is on, they'll have a look anyway.
Yeah.
But then the VAR took a bit longer than I thought, and I thought, hello.
It
And
could be.
obviously just off, mate. A difficult one.
And it was two moments. It was where Tav almost span and put Evan Nilsson through, and I thought he was going to take on a shot, but he didn't. He managed to sort of rotate his body and get the ball across, maybe knowing that Brooks was coming in, but he did. Brooks could have had a lot of wriggle room as well, by the way, so he just a little bit onto it. He could have been in.
A little bit too eager to get on the end of it, wasn't he?
But you know what? Nice little move, and the ball was in the back of the net. We had a few corners, mostly in the second half, but we had some in the first. One thing I was surprised about, and someone on the forum said this, is the fact that we would just put them in the box against the tallest defence in the world.
When normally we've tried things.
Yeah, we do things.
And then the one time that we probably need to do, well, I was saying it every time we get a call, I was going, we need to try something different.
I wonder why that is.
Go short, do something, because...
Or we double bluffing.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
That's what they want us to do.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It was a weird one that we just... Yeah, you never felt like that we were going to win a header from the corner. But, it was... Yeah, it petered out towards the second half. As I say, they got into it a little bit more, but kind of just felt like, right, second half's going to be really interesting now. Which team's going to kind of gamble? And I think what ended up happening was neither team did.
No, that's right. So we made changes, and you said you called one of them at half time, mate. That was Jimenez. What did you make of his first half?
I thought he was okay. I thought he'd done all right. I was quite happy. You know, it's his first start, so you're not going to expect anything like magical. You just want to see, okay, is he an option there? And I thought he looked good. It's a real shame for him because I think he comes off because he gets that yellow card right on half time. And only said that. He said I was happy with him. But I guess if you've got James Hill on the bench, who's been playing there, is solid, is reliable.
Yeah, why not?
Why gamble on Jimenez? You know, one tackle, he could be off.
Yeah, and they targeted him especially.
Yeah, but as we'll see later in the game, you don't get second yellows. But yeah, I think it was the right decision. And also now with that free window thing, it stops you using another window on him and there's a bit later. So
that's true.
I was fine with that, mate. I thought they might change something. It took them till about the hour mark till they did so. I thought they might mix it up at half time, but they didn't.
Just before they do make some changes, Newcastle fans were clamouring for a penalty when Voltemada goes down after what looked like a hand on the back and then a little tug on the shirt, which you can clearly see. But in my mind, if your shirt's getting tugged that way, why would you dive the other way?
Yeah, I think he made the most of it, which didn't help him.
Strictly?
Yeah, I think strictly his back. Fair play. But I did think... It's one of them that I think if that was for us, I'm screaming for that and going, well, he's touched him and his balance has gone. But if you're the other way, you go, that'd be soft, wouldn't it? I would have been frustrated if the game was... I could see why. If the ref had given it, I don't think that gets overturned. No,
it's one of those things like I've seen players penalised for tugging on shirts before, and it's like, what's the ferocity of the tug?
Yeah.
I mean, you're used to...
Yeah, don't. But yeah, it's a.
Don't you know what I'm going to say?
But it's
you're used to playing football.
Yeah, and getting the tugs.
You know, because you're a niggly little player, you get tugged quite a lot.
A lot of tugging. I appreciate that. I experience a lot of tugging, and yeah, so it's I'm a good one to talk on it.
Oh, I see. You were going down now.
But yeah, I felt that I saw a few Newcastle fans saying it online, and I do agree that if that's in the middle of the pitch, it's probably given as a foul. So I can kind of, but I think the threshold should be higher in the box anyway for them sort of things.
Yeah.
Again, I think if he gives it, it's not going to get overturned. As soon as it wasn't given, I thought they ain't going to give that on VAR. So maybe got away with one a little bit, but I think they did later on even more so.
Yeah. So there was a foul from, it's written Theo, but it's like Chiob.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And that was a deliberate handball, I think. And then a few minutes later, Christie sort of plays the ball over his head and then almost runs on to the ball once it's flicked off a Newcastle head, I think, picks up the ball again. And then he's running through, steamrolling through, and then it looks like quite a blatant sort of takeout by Tior again. But you did say, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, on a previous show, a couple of shows ago, the threshold should be higher for a second yellow than it is for a first.
Yeah, potentially. I just felt that. Yeah, that's right, because as I said about
that he's a Newcastle player, therefore he should go.
No, yeah, of course. But no, I think as I said about the kind of penalty call from them, where it's given anywhere else on the pitch, I agree with that, but the threshold should be higher in the box. And the same with this, any other player gets booked on that pitch because Jimenez is off as well. So he's the only one on the booking at that point. Anyone else would have got booked.
Yeah.
And that's what's frustrating.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that would have changed the game anyway. There was, 10 minutes to go. We might have had a few more chances.
We would have probably we'd have taken more gambles, maybe Krupi would have come on or something. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of them. In the moment, you're thinking, oh, that's a yellow. And then you realise who it is. And you go, oh my God, he's off.
Yeah.
And then you know the ref's not going to give it. And that was the free kick, by the way. The worst free kick I've ever seen.
There must have been a routine. They got all their, they didn't synchronise their watches. The timing was wrong. Was it Ryan Christie with a little bit of a chip or a dink into
trying to be clever,
no man's land?
Yeah, I think what I will say is we just said about corners and stuff, we need to be cleverer. So we did try something, but it didn't. But it wasn't a position to cross it anyway. Just hit it. Yeah, I couldn't believe we didn't have a pop from there. Obviously, we didn't right at the end, which was like kind of the only shot on target.
That was our best. That was the best chance. And when I don't know. Part of me expected the net to ripple. I honestly thought Clive was going to step up to the target. He knows how to hit one from long range against Newcastle.
Exactly, and I think actually Pope done better than a lot of people appreciate because it's so low. That could I thought it was going to go under his body. He's a big guy as well, getting down. But so he done pretty well to make the save. But yeah, that was the only real moment, mate.
We've reached the end of the show, pretty much, mate.
Nothing to talk about, mate. I think we've done well, actually.
We've done well to get as many minutes out of it as we have. Alex Deutsch on Twitter mentioned the atmosphere being pretty poor. Yeah. I think I agree it was.
I agree. It's actually as much as...
frustrated by that.
Yeah, obviously. I actually felt that for an away fans, Newcastle were quieter than they're normally rocking. True, yeah. They were quiet as well. It just showed the game, I think. Yeah. But yeah, both were quiet. Well, I mean, it's not like we get it rocking anyway. I'm not being funny. It's been, we've said it enough times. It's going to be big when the stadium changes, and hopefully you can get more of the kind of singers in one group. Because even when you do get a song, someone's singing from there, and then someone else is singing from there. It's different charts go because the ones that go to away games make the charts. We have all these really good charts, and then the other lot sing a different chant. And
and I think Evan Nilsson's got how many songs?
About 5.
I mean,
and they sing different ones all the time.
He's like Senesi one's got to get at the bin or something.
Oh, and he's playing so well, and then they sing that song, which you might as well just sing. Tyler Adams. It's exactly the same as Senesi.
I suppose in kind of in their defence, I don't want to do with them and us.
No, but, I don't know who they are.
There needs to be a viable alternative, which there isn't.
No,
so
true.
Therefore, we do divert and. I now sing it ironically.
Yeah.
Senesi! But it's not just that, it's...
Senesi, Senesi, he came from Feyenoord, he's why you haven't scored. There you go. I just thought that off the dome, mate, because I thought Feyenoord.
Oh my God.
And speaking of Feyenoord, did you see our resident Feyenoord fan?
Yeah, I did, Eric.
Yeah, we were chatting to her after the game, right, just because this game was so rubbish anyway. So obviously he come back for a pint.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a big Feyenoord fan. And we spoke to him at Wolves Away, didn't we, once? We were obviously talking about Senesi and Sinisterra at the time as well.
Good record, by the way.
He has. And they had a big game away at Alkmaar.
Yeah.
And he's watching it on his phone. We're in the pub and they're 3-2 up at Alkmaar. Like 90th minute, they get, what's his name? That one, Akmahedovich, who was at Sheffield United.
Okay, yeah.
He's playing Feyenoord now. He gets sent off. And then the 97th minute, they give away a penalty because saying it was 3-0. He couldn't even win that.
Eric.
It was literally about 10 seconds to go and they threw 3-0. But they are still top of the league, so he was happy. But yeah, nice to see him. But yeah, that's why I remembered about Senesi being at Feyenoord. Yeah. And he's why you haven't scored, mate.
I just hope that when the stadium is recalibrated, if you're a North stander at the moment and you're considering moving to the south, just have a thing. Just look at yourself in the mirror, right? And just think, do I contribute? Like audibly on a match day. If you don't, just enjoy staying in the North Stand. That's fine. Let the singers all be in one place.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the drummer? Is it going to be the North Stand guy or is it going to be Adam Woodland in the South? I mean, I don't want because at the moment there seems to be a bit of a divide, even like right side, left side, middle, or whatever of the North Stand. So we need to be together.
We're going to end up having drumming that different points. So it's going to be brilliant. But yeah, me and my mate in the North, I'm, me, I don't like change. I'm kind of, I like the people I'm with. I've been there for so long.
And have to change.
But I am thinking, could we just go over there? I'm not sure. But yeah, anyone sits around me will know I'm vocal. I can't believe how many of them have stayed there, by the way. There's a woman that sits next to me, right? Yeah. She's been sat there. She wasn't pregnant. Then she got pregnant. Now the kid comes. Yeah. It looks like he's going to have a point soon. Absolutely mental. But the fact that she hasn't moved makes me think, I'm not that bad then. I can't be that bad.
Hey, I've seen it done on other channels before. I think Fulhamish might do it. I know that the Shoreham View used to do it quite a bit when Johnny was around. They got fans on, and we could like hire some like social club, put some like red like stage, like smoke on there, make it all like a cabaret stage. Invite fans to go on there one by one, just one mic, sing a song. We're there like the judges who analyse it, whether it's good or not. We get Brad in,
of course,
Tom, get everyone, and then we can analyse it to see like, is this good?
Look at that for an international break. That is really good. What? Oh, that would be. Yeah, no, it would be funny. And we do have good songs. It's just,
we do.
And some of them you go, that's not as bad as that, or that they're both good songs, but we need to not pick one. To get the atmosphere going again. But yeah, it was, to be fair, the game itself meant for both sides not being too rowdy, I don't think.
And this conversation, wouldn't be happening if the result was different. I'm absolutely certain. So just treat it with a pinch of salt and please don't take offence if you don't sing, because I think many people probably did find it hard to. Yeah. Tom, so you've already spoiled it already, but who was your SofaScore man of the match then?
Well, I know who it was, and I did say I think he'll be up there, and it was Marcos Senesi.
Yeah, 7.5.
The reason we got onto it actually in the pub afterwards, because I thought that we were talking about how defensively both teams were so good, and I said, and someone said, Senesi was. I think they were more talking about some of his passing went off, and he was trying it too much. Which I get, but I said, no, but I think Senesi was brilliant. I think he'll be high. And we looked, and he did, obviously, on all the stats. But it surprised me that Tav was low on stats because I thought he was trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
So sometimes what happens with that is you get a low score because if nothing ends up happening. But yeah, you only got to look at them to see what the game was like, because all the defensive players are the ones with good stats in both sides. But yeah, I thought both centre-halves were brilliant, so it didn't surprise me that Senesi got a good rating.
Diakite came back in, and he's quality, isn't he?
No, I love him.
He's absolutely quality.
Yeah.
I was worried, like we said, with Velko, but he's done superb. Truefair again, another
steady.
Exemplary showing from him. It's just a standard thing from him now, isn't it?
Yeah, he's seemed very consistent, very reliable. It was one of them games where we couldn't see as much of him bombing forward because it was never going to be a game where you want him to be whipping in loads of crosses anyway. But you just feel so comfy with him there, don't you?
I think that's where Eddie Howe succeeded. I mean, we won't take a look at average positions because it's so difficult, especially on the first half where Semenyo and Brooks changed wing quite frequently. I think midway through the second half.
I like that we were trying that.
Yeah, that's right, just to unsettle them a little bit. But so looking at the average positions don't really make sense. But if you do have a look at Newcastle's, you see that Livramento on one side, and who was it on the other side? Oh yeah, Lewis Hall. You can see that they are pushed up, so they don't give Semenyo, Brooks, Truefair, Jimenez much room in front of them, and that's what we always like. Like widths are our strength, and they managed to just give us no room whatsoever. It was very condensed in the middle as well. Yeah, so tough.
It was what they did really well is you didn't see many times where Semenyo had a chance to run at him.
Yeah,
because they were on him straight away and they were very tight. And even the midfield, Willock in particular, was just busting a gut to get over there and help the wing back. So, yeah, they've done a good job on us defensively, and so did we on them, to be fair.
Nice little combo with Tav and Scott. Both players, I think, have been doing very well this season. And there are a couple of players now in Christie and Clivert that seem to be on the bench at the moment. But do you sense that could change in the games ahead?
Yeah, I do. And I don't think it's anything to do with, say, Scott, say Tav, say even Brooksy. If they were to come out, I think it's just freshen it up a little bit. I think they've obviously both had injuries, so he's bringing them back in, and we've been playing well. So but I think there comes a point where I don't. Christie and Clivert, they do a job and they come on, and I'm happy when they come on. At that point in the game, I don't think they've impacted many games when they've come on that much.
No.
And I wonder if it's because it's not really. I've always said this of Andoni. It's not really you've been dropped because you know you're coming on the hour because he likes the finishers, and I just wonder if maybe it leads because then you've got a break as well with Clivert and Christie having injury problems. I just wonder if one of, if not both, come into that game and he goes, you know what? Let's see you more starting and coming off. And maybe Christie's energy and stuff, burn yourself out after an hour, hope we're ahead. Scott can then come on and try and calm us down and keep the ball. Because I just don't think it's working with Christie coming on. And Clivert, I think there's a case to say he could play in the 10. Tav could move back out wide, but also Clivert can play wide and Tav can stay there. If Brooksy would have come out, I don't know. Because no one's playing badly. It's just a little freshen up and mix it up a little bit. And you do the 60-30, but maybe just change the ones you do it with. He done it at right back, mixed that up with Jimenez. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if just try and keep opposition guessing as well, mate.
Leeds, Fulham, Palace, Forest. Those are the next 4 matches. How do you assess those? There's the opportunity for points there.
They are. It's that typical. I'm going to say it again.
Don't look at the fixture. All right, so we're going to get 0 points. Is that what you're telling me now?
But everyone said that we had a really tough start, but then after that second break, Well, after the Newcastle game, then we got a good run of fixtures. Well, we've done bloody well. That's not how it always works. I think Ellen Road, horrible place to go for many reasons.
We've never got so much as a point there.
No, and I'd rip your hand off for a point. I think it's just a tough place to go. And I think it's a difficult fixture.
Can I be honest, or maybe greedy, that I want 3?
No, I want 3. Of course I want bloody 3. But I think it's going to be a really difficult game. I think for some reason Fulham get a little bit like ourselves, I think, where people think we can win that. Fulham are bloody good, by the way.
Yeah.
Watched them against Brentford. Absolutely. I mean, a Brentford side that we were crap against. I know it was a cup game. And Fulham looked brilliant. Palace are unbeaten, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? Palace are the only team with Liverpool that haven't lost. So whether that'll be the case coming up to that point remains to be seen. But they're bloody good.
And Forest might start clicking by that
Forest
point.
might start clicking there. And you know,
is that at home or away?
Forest is at home because we've got them away last game of the season.
Okay, right.
So Leeds away, Fulham home, Palace away, Forest home. And Forest and Palace are both in Europe, by the way. You know, they're good sides. So I think they're all... it's a weird one. Them 4 fixtures, I think, are very hard to call. I think you look at all of them and think they'll be tight games. So it's them fine margins, as Scotty P would say. So if we can just nick it, and like I say, the fact that we're good defensively, if we can nick a goal, I fancy us to get some points on them and see where we're at. It'd be really interesting to see where we are after them 4. Are we still in the title race? Do you know what I mean?
Who knows?
But yeah, speaking of things watching, did you watch? I thought really good result for Hull City. Just want to mention Hull City's result in the Championship of the weekend. Good result for them. Will still be around after the international break, mate, because I play Footy Manager and I think, am I going to get a job in the Championship? Because what? They're like 18th or something. Absolutely mental. I mean, they might not have this little derby for too much longer, mate. They better hope Reading don't go up. Jesus. Who else? And speaking of them, I was going to give a shout out to Lenny. His parents went to my mum's shop, right, in Broadstone, and said, "Oh, watch the channel, blah, blah, blah." Lenny, he actually plays for Southampton Academy. And I went, I'm not giving him a shout out, but still supports Bournemouth.
What a boy.
So I respect that. And I'm not being funny, Lenny. Keep it up. You're probably getting their side soon.
Yeah, you never know. Look, thank you so much for listening or watching, however you've consumed this. Stay tuned and look, stay with us because Global Cherries is a show that's going to be out on Tuesday as well. And that is where myself and Tom at the moment are just watching your videos and basically taking the piss.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
No, we're not.
No, we can do that though because we've been to America.
Yeah,
we went last year. So I mean, they're like us.
So give that strand of videos a chance because it's a slow burner here on Back and Net, but we want it to work and we want to have as many different opinions on every week, not just the people in the UK, but also those who can't get to the games as well. So stay tuned for that. There's a couple of things you can do to make sure you see it.
Yeah, click the bell, it'll alert you when it's up, and then when you're there, you might as well click the like button and then click the big fat subscribe button while you're at it. So yeah, really appreciate it, and hopefully the next time we chat, it's going to be a little bit more because I thought we'd done a good job then.
Yeah,
mate.
we did. Up the chairs, and we'll see you in the next one.
Right, Chess, how long did we do that? We absolutely smashed that.
33 minutes.
How have we done that? I mean, come on, that game, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.